Yep, you were good to go.
What's up, cronies? Cat Burglar here. Episode 14. We're cruising through an NFL and college football season. We're giving away a lot of picks and a lot of winners, making you cronies a lot of money. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the pod. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Caden, why don't you get a recap of what was it? NFL week 6
Sounds about
and
right.
college football week 7. So give a recap
All
of that.
right. So last week, Sal went 1-0 in NFL and 0-1 in college football. Bert went a perfect 2-0 in the NFL and also a perfect 2-0 in college football.
Nice work,
Um,
man.
I went 2-1 in the NFL and 1-1 in college football. Cat Burglar went perfect in the NFL this week, going 3-0, and had a
Nice.
pitiful college football debate. Going 1-3.
Yeah, the
Pitiful.
Um,
college football, like we were saying before we jumped on here, it's been tough, man, for me. So I haven't got a good grip on it yet. And when I think I'm leaning and then too, sometimes like I get early in the week and then gets later in the week and the line's moving against me. And it's like, it goes both ways. You can get on a line early and then, you benefit, but you can also, start seeing, where some of these guys that are betting that are really good, and then you're going against them in the line moves, and it's just like shit. It's kind of like the Wisconsin Rutgers game. You know, that was an absolute piss pounding by Wisconsin. I was on Rutgers, and it just didn't turn out, obviously. So.
all
Well,
right,
it
and
sounds like our records were really good, especially in the NFL this last week.
yeah,
Um, Hitman went 2-0 in the NFL. I went 3-0. Would you go, Caden, 2-1?
2-1.
So what is
Want to
that?
know?
One and
So
oh.
this week we
Wow, you hit
went
about 85%.
we went eight
You're
and one
welcome,
in the
cronies.
NFL.
Yeah. 8-1, cronies. Who's
Yeah,
doing that? Nobody. We're
and then
giving
our
you flat
podcast
out winners, making
overalls.
you bread,
Our podcast overalls really jumped this week. So the NFL we're hitting 49.2%, in college football we're hitting 55.2%.
Wow,
Not
after
bad.
8-1, we're only at 49. We must have been a little bit low in the NFL
Yep. But
prior.
hey, we're bouncing back. Bouncing back.
Yeah.
That's what we do. That's what we
Yeah.
do.
I'm dragging us down in college football. I got to get us back. So, all right, guys, why don't we get it right into the picks? I'm going to start with you, Hitman. What do you got this week?
All right, for college, I got Army minus 16 at home versus East Carolina. Army's been killing it this whole year they've been killing it so far. So I'm just going to ride them until they prove me wrong. So um, Army minus 16. And then I also like Rutgers minus 4.5 at home versus UCLA. UCLA is another team I think is junk, and Rutgers is going to have a bounce back after last week's debacle against the Badgers. So hopefully Rutgers pulls it off, 4.5. For the NFL, I got the Colts minus 3 versus the Dolphins. It's at Indy, and Dolphins. I just don't know what I don't know what their identity is, and not saying the Colts are a great team, but I just like the Colts at home against the Finns. Also like the Vikings at home minus 1.5 versus Detroit. Um, Vikings are playing good ball, and it's hard to deny that. Detroit's obviously playing really good ball. I don't know how Hutchinson hurts their defense. That's a huge loss with him. So at some point here, Detroit usually always falters at some point. So I'm going to say it's going to be at Minneapolis this weekend. So Vikings minus 1.5. That's the Hitman's picks. Book them.
It's interesting that Vikings game. They're coming off a bye too, so they've had a couple weeks to prepare for Detroit.
Yep.
Detroit's coming off that big high, but then you got the emotional loss of Hutchinson. And
Yeah.
then your Colts pick's interesting too. They've been playing really well with Flacco, but it sounds like they're going back to Richardson this
Yep.
week, which, to be honest, I don't really wherever Flacco jumps in, it seems like last year with Cleveland,
Yeah.
like I don't know if I go away from him the way they've been playing.
I agree.
So that's an interesting game. Caden, what do you got this week?
Um, you know, starting off with 2 college football picks. Badgers money line at Northwestern. Badgers coming off a huge win as underdogs against Rutgers. Absolutely piss pounded them. And then I'm taking Colorado +3 versus Arizona. Colorado played the 14th ranked team last week and held their own. They got arguably the 2 best college football players, definitely the best duo on the offensive side there. They're able to put up numbers. So, yes, I'm taking Colorado +3. And then getting into the NFL, I like the Eagles -3 against the Giants. Really no rhyme or reason to that. Then I'm going against Burt. I'm going Lions +2 versus the Vikings. The Vikings aren't going 17-0. They're gonna lose a game. And this Lions team, whether they got the injuries or not, they're a good team, and they just blew out whoever they just played. Who did they just play?
Cowboys.
Cowboys. And the Cowboys aren't playing good, but they're no schmuck. And then I have the Jets -2.5 versus the Steelers. I know we were talking about Flacco earlier. Why go away from a quarterback that's, put you in a good position? And that's the way I feel about the Steelers. I mean, they're talking about going to Wilson and replacing Fields. Fields, has done very, very well for the Steelers. They have an amazing defense, but quarterback runs the show, and Wilson's kind of a head case. So I'm taking the Jets -2. Then my last NFL pick, I got to whip it out for you guys.
Jesus.
Right here.
Oh, just a jersey.
Lamar Jackson. And you want to tell me what I
God.
got to say to that? Fuck him. Because I'm taking the Bucs money line over the Baltimore Ravens.
Whoa.
Lock and load. Lock of the century. Back. I'm going to expect images, videos of all the cronies taking my picks, leaving the bank like robberies, bags full of cash. You're welcome.
Ugh.
Wow.
Well, your Wisconsin pick, you're going money line. You're laying a lot of chalk there. That's what, -7? I like Bucky. They're playing great, but be careful in this game. Northwestern is a team that always plays Bucky tough.
At home.
That's a stay away game for me. I lean Bucky there if I had to bet with a gun to my head, but Northwestern's a sneaky team, and they always give Wisconsin trouble. It doesn't matter whether it's at Wisconsin or at Northwestern. They always play them tough. So.
Money line's a great pick. You want to tell you why? Because it's a fucking winner.
Yeah. Except when it isn't. All right, Caden, thanks for your picks. Cronies, bet those with caution. Extreme caution.
Dude.
All right, Sal, hit us with your picks, buddy.
All right, thanks, Cat Burglar. I'm on the same page as the Hitman. I've got Rutgers -4.5. I know they're exposed a little bit last week by Bucky, but I think they bounced back big this week. UCLA, West Coast team trailing to the East Coast for an 11 a.m. start. That's got disaster written all over it for the Bruins. Rutgers is definitely a lock. Taking that one for sure. And my NFL pick this week, I'm going back to the London early game Sunday morning. Jacksonville and New England. I got the over once again of 42.5. Jacksonville can't fucking stop anybody. New England actually looked pretty good with Drake May at quarterback last week. Threw 3 touchdowns. I think New England puts up 25 points, 26 points. Jacksonville's going to be up there. It's going to be a higher scoring game than people think. Take the over. 42.5. You're welcome, cronies.
Yeah. You've been doing very good. You and Burt been hitting on a lot of your picks, so that's good.
Yep.
Also me. Don't leave me out.
Oh yeah.
I'm fucking holding my own. Unlike somebody on the fucking pod. Jeez.
If I had 2 of those orange cones to put around your picks, dude, I would. Extreme caution.
Yup. Scared money don't make money.
No, it don't, but also don't lose a shit ton. All right, guys, I'm going to hit you with my picks. College football, I'm going, again, I don't like the card this week. There wasn't a lot of value that I saw, so the one game that I really liked that jumped off the board at me was Michigan State plus 6.5 at home. They have Iowa coming to town. Michigan State's not great, but Iowa put up a ton of points last week for them against Washington. I think there's going to be a little letdown this week, and it's in prime time. Sparty getting 6.5. I'm going to take Sparty. My next one is Bowling Green, Kent State over 55.5. Kent State's been scoring and giving up quite a bit, and Bowling Green can score. I think Bowling Green's coming off a loss to Northern Illinois. So I think they bounce back here. I think they're going to get 35-40 themselves. Kent State's going to get a few, and I think this goes over 55.5. Those are my only two picks for college football. Cronies, be careful on these. I have not been hot on college football. 13-19 is not good, but I plan on bouncing back by the end of the season and getting into the green. NFL, I got quite a few picks this week. I know everybody's been talking about the Lions game. I got Lions mini under 50. I just feel like this game's going to slow down, and the total has a lot to do with what the Lions did last week. Obviously, I mean, it felt like they were going to score 100 points in that game, but I just feel like this game is going to be more like a 17-20 game, 23-17, something along those lines. And a lot of the totals that have been over 50 have gone under this year as well. One of the ugliest games is Atlanta, Seattle. Seattle's been playing like ass. Atlanta's been playing fairly well. I'm taking Seattle +3 here. I just feel like this is a good spot. It's probably one of the most ugly games on the board. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Atlanta probably should be -5.5 in this game, and that line's telling me a lot there. Giants +3. Giants have been playing over well. They probably should have beat the Bengals last week. They beat Seattle the week before. The Giants are playing pretty good, and their defense is playing pretty good. The Eagles played like shit against the Browns and barely squeaked by in that game. So I'm just not a full believer in Philadelphia and the coach. When he gets in good close games, he always seems to make mistakes. So, and then I got the 49ers money line against the Chiefs. I just think the Chiefs are going to lose a game. 49ers are starting to get a little bit more healthy. I just think it's a good spot. Green Bay money line. I'm not going to fool around with the points there. I just think Green Bay is going to get this done at home. They need a signature win. They're starting to get healthy as well. They're starting to find a rhythm on offense. I just think it's a good spot. And then lastly, Bengals money line. Laying a little bit too much chalk here, but I just think the Bengals need wins. And so those are my picks. So quite a few in the NFL, not as many in college, but I'm starting to really get an idea on the NFL, kind of how things are going back and forth and what to look for in the lines. And I'm feeling fairly confident in the NFL. So those are my picks, guys. What do you think? All right. So the Packer game this week, we'll just hit on one thing before we leave. What are you guys thinking in that game? Like, it's probably one of the marquee games of the week, I would think. And, Green Bay needs a signature win. They've only beaten one team with a winning record. That's the Colts at 3-3. What do you think happens this game? Bert, what do you think?
I like the Packers. I think the Packers take it. I think the Packers played a really good game last week, and they're playing again. I hope they can just continue with that. New kicker in town, so that's good too.
Yeah,
that helps. McManus, I don't know. He was, I think, over his career, he's like over 80% or something like that. And the last kicks that he had, he was doing pretty decent. I don't think he missed an extra point at all. So I like that. So I'm happy with that, but I got to go with Packers. I think C might give him a little trouble with his running because they always struggle against a quarterback who can run. But hopefully they can nip that and get a linebacker as a, someone on him,
Is Nico playing?
No.
I think that's huge. I mean, other than last week, the Texans, whenever Nico's been out, they've really struggled.
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know, but last week they didn't struggle. But who
Oh.
were they playing last week? Somebody not very good. Panthers? No,
Mm-mm.
can't remember who they played last week. Oh, Patriots.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So they jumped on them right away. But overall, they've struggled without Nico. So I think this could be a good spot for Green Bay.
Yep.
What do you think, Sal? Think Green Bay wins or?
Yeah, I'm on Green Bay this week also. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, back and forth. I think Green Bay can get some pressure on Show. That would be very helpful. The pass rush has been pretty much non-existent.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to start bringing some extra people, getting his face a little bit, because you can't just let Stroud sit back there and pick you apart.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can bring a little more pressure, but I think it's high scoring Packer win.
Caden, what do you think?
You know, I don't love betting trends, but one that has some value to it is, the Packers are 7-1 in games I attend. And I think with that being said, I'm taking the fucking Packers.
That's a good point, Caden. I think Beeks and Sal, correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't the Packers won every game that we've been to in the last 30 years, except for 2, I think?
They've lost a couple, but Pittsburgh game I remember, and
But only a
Yeah.
couple
not many.
gone in a row. So or
Where
30.
did
Yeah, we're all
Atlanta then,
cronies.
man.
We're all attending
Yeah.
this week's game. So we're gonna be rooting on we're all Packer fans. We're all gonna be rooting on the Pack. You might want to tell the cronies though, Caden, the one game that the loss was a Sunday night game against Detroit with the playoffs on the line.
And Rodgers' last game as a Green Bay Packer.
Oh.
Eesh. That one hurt a little bit, Caden. We were counting on you to bring home a dub, and you failed.
Sometimes you got to let go of the past to have a brighter future.
Absolutely.
And all I'm going to say is look at Rodgers in New York. You don't look too happy.
No.
He don't look too happy. You want me to tell you who also doesn't look happy? Vegas. After I bankrupt them with another week of fucking winners. I'll tell you that. and this. I'll give you something else. I love Green Bay. Love Green Bay. But when I'm there, I think the energy of the team plays better. I don't know why, because I don't have any direct interactions with them. But
I was thinking you did.
What do they say? Aura. My aura in that building, it's greatness. It's greatness. And I match that energy with Vince Lombardi, Bart Starr, Reggie White,
Cash
the
money.
Cash money. Dude, I probably shouldn't be saying this on the podcast, but they're gonna put my name up there. It just in
There's
a
a
year or
good
two.
chance this podcast gets taken down from YouTube.
Yep.
All right, guys. Cronies, we've been giving you a lot of winners. Caden gave a record overall. We're a little bit right around 50% in the NFL. 55% through 7 weeks in college football is insane. So we hope to keep it up. We're gonna turn around the NFL for you guys, but we're giving you picks every week. Hope you're enjoying that and making a little money with these. We're out of here, guys. Take her easy.
Later.
Peace.